2018, there was a paranormal incident in Thailand that shocked the world. Thailand invited 12 soccer players along with their coach to explore the fourth largest cave in Thailand, the Sleeping Beauty Cave. But from the moment they entered, they never came out until the night. It was raining heavily. The Sleeping Beauty Cave floods every year. It was only then that their family realized the seriousness of the situation. But by the time they arrived, there were only 13 bikes left on the ground. The Sleeping Beauty Cave in front of them had already been flooded. They called the kids' names into the cave, but there was no response. At 1 a.m., the Navy SEALs arrived on the scene and prepared to rescue them. The governor was also informed and rushed to the scene. A foreigner based in the area provided a map of the cave structure, though the cave was complicated and narrow. Fortunately, there were larger chambers that might offer the children a chance of survival. The SEAL team organized their gear and began their first mission, exploring the cave while securing ropes to stalactites for future rescue efforts. Until 5 a.m., the team returned to the starting point covered in wounds. The situation inside the cave is very dangerous. One team member almost died, and they've only traveled 800 meters in a 10-kilometer cave. The rescue operation was more difficult than anyone could have imagined. Seeing the team in such a sorry state, the family's hopes plunged to rock bottom. The flame of hope in everyone's heart was gradually dwindling away. The next day, the incident gained international attention and was upgraded to a global rescue operation. The local government called for help from all over the world. Volunteers from all over the world responded. A passing water engineer noticed the volunteers pumping water out of the cave, despite using the largest pumps available. In his experience, it had only a minimal effect. He sought out a local elder, introduced himself, and explained that the source of the cave's flooding was the mountain above. With the elder's guidance, they found a route to the mountain and discovered several dangerous water entry points. The water was pouring into the cave. The only way to solve the problem was to back up the torrent to the bottom of the mountain. But the tricky part is, that would destroy the crops. The farmer's year's work would be destroyed. No matter what the choice is, the result would be heartbreaking. The governor, seeing no other option, approached the farmers and explained the situation, hoping for a solution that could save the children.
มดกันกระจะอี้
ได้
แล้วมันจะช่วยละออนได้ก็เจ้า
จริงๆแล้วผมรับประกันอะไรไม่ได้ครับแต่ว่ามันเป็นการเพิ่มโอกาสรอดให้กับเด็ก
But the farmer only whispered a few words. They made a decision soon after.
เอาเลยเจ้าเพื่อละออน
ๆขอบคุณมากครับขอบคุณครับ
On the fifth day, the number of rescuers from all over the world reached 1,000. Two of them are cave experts from the British Cave Rescue Society. They didn't even have time to rest on their feet when they arrived. They donned their gear and raced to the scene. Their arrival would change the entire rescue operation. They reached Chamber 3, 800 meters from the entrance, where efforts were underway to pump out water. But the water level was still rising. Time was running out. A few dozen meters deeper into the cave, a pump has failed due to high pressure. The operator is trying to fix it, and this is the last place to breathe. Two men put on flippers and dive in. The water in the cave is extremely murky. Visibility is almost zero. It's more treacherous than they could have imagined. There are sharp stalactites everywhere. They can get cut at any time, and even risk serious infection. The terrain is very narrow. If they get stuck in a crevice, it could cost them their lives. The two men march forward with great difficulty along the tow line. Each meter is an enormous physical effort. After almost 4 hours, they reached the trapezoidal intersection 6 kilometers from the entrance. This is the first large cave pool to avoid the flooding. But the two men shouted for a long time. No sign of the children. They had to move on to find the next chamber. But just as they set off, a landslide triggered by the floodwaters collapsed the mountain.